There's a lot inside Claude, and it's really easy to miss features within features. So 10 worth knowing in 10 minutes. That's the promise of this video. But first, this is a 5-part video series. Last week, we looked at Claude Desktop. This week, episode 2 of 5, it's Claude Chat. And here's the thing, 2 of these I only discovered whilst researching this video. Let me know in the comments which ones you didn't know, or if there's any I've missed. Let's go. Quick heads up, I'm in Claude Desktop. Recommend trying it if you haven't. Now, fresh this week, the free modes moved to the sidebar. I'm in chat mode now. And if you're using Claude on the web instead, don't worry. Almost everything I show you works there too. One exception, Claude in Chrome is desktop only. Right, feature 1, conversation branching. We've all used chat, but this one has a twist. Let me pick up on a chat I was working on earlier. Here's my prompt. Hover over it, click the edit button. It's a 30-second pitch for my AI coaching where the main idea is that AI is a multiplier, not a replacement. But what if I want a different angle? Look, here's Claude telling me it will create a new conversation branch. I'll select the main idea and replace it with AI isn't optional, it's the new fluency. Save. New pitch, new angle. And want to compare the two? Simple. Toggle between the original and the new one, play around, work out which feels right. And here's the clever bit. Whichever branch you're on, that's the one that shapes everything after. The follow-ups, the refinements, the next draft. One change at the start impacts all the responses that follow. Feature 2, projects. I'll click into my AI automation client FAQs. Now, most people misunderstand projects in Claude. They work best for repeatable work when Claude's looking at the same information again and again, and it can learn from that process. Memory kicks in under the hood, scope to just the project, not your whole account. For example, in this one, same chat input as normal. Below that, everything I've worked on recently inside the project. On the right, instructions. That's the background context Claude reads every time. It's where you tell Claude what's inside this project. A support assistant, a researcher, a writing partner, whatever the job is. Underneath, 4 Google Docs. Client directory, approved software, support policy, FAQs. Now, they've only used 1% of the project's capacity, so plenty of headroom. Click any file and it takes you straight to the Google Doc. I can edit it at any time and the project picks up the changes. Actually live, no re-uploading. So docs you can update, memory that remembers, and a knowledge base that keeps itself honest. Worth setting up properly for anything you keep coming back to. Feature 3, connectors. So customize, then connectors. I'll enable Claude in Chrome, and I'll have Google Calendar ready too. Think of a job you do online that you really don't enjoy. For me, it might be pulling up reports in Google Analytics, or honestly, booking my gym sessions every week. Almost anything you can do in Chrome, Claude can do for you. Let me show you. I tried to go to the gym 3 times a week and reward myself with a sauna afterwards. Problem is, the sauna needs its own spa and recovery booking made separately, and the website is clunky. That makes it 6 bookings in a week, 30 seconds each, 3 minutes I'd happily skip. So I'm asking Claude to book them, and stacking Google Calendar on top, so each session lands straight in my schedule, 2 connectors working together, happy days. The gym's booking page is already open in Chrome. Claude's going to work through it, 6 bookings, then the calendar. This takes a couple of minutes. Check your email, make a cuppa, whatever. And we're back. All 6 bookings made, calendar updated too. Quick honest note, Claude in Chrome isn't fast. It takes a screenshot for every step, so I let it run in the background while I'm doing something else and come back to it. Feature 4, artifacts. You can open them from the sidebar, but it's clearer if I show you one I made in a real chat. This chat started about messaging for my new website. It then evolved into design. That's my prompt, written on dictation, not the cleanest, but on a whim, I was asking Claude if it could mock up a Netflix-style homepage for my site. Claude said yes, and came back with this. Before we go further, what actually is an artifact? It's Claude making something visual, and this usually ends up as a side panel. Charts, process diagrams, web pages, mockups, and you can ask for one specifically. Put this as an artifact, or Claude will open one up when it makes sense. Now, this isn't the cleanest design. Classic AI purple, not really my palette. But the structure, that's the bit that mattered. season tabs, episode cards, the whole layout. And I have the option to save it here so I can come back to it any time. All my saved artifacts live in the sidebar folder. And the wild bit, this is where the idea for my homepage was born, and this is what it looks like now. One 30-second artifact shaped how I present myself online. Now, we've only touched on the surface here. You can make them interactive, share them with a colleague, draft a blog post in one. There's loads you can do. Get creative and give it a go. Feature 5, Preferences. So Settings, General tab, and there's a big text box called Personal Preferences. Claude even tells you what it's for. What personal preferences should Claude consider in responses? Preferences is how Claude thinks about you, context, personality, rules, all in one box, running in every chat, so you're not re-explaining yourself every time. Of all the 10 features in this video, this one I've been relying on from day one. Okay, first, writing rules. British English, no EM dashes, never use words like delve or leverage. Those are anti-instructions, telling Claude what not to do. Keep it from drifting back to its default voice. Then, how Claude talks to you. Direct, conversational, like having a coffee. Don't call me mate, it's a bit too cockney sounding for my liking, so stick with Joe. Then the bigger stuff. I've been rereading Essentialism by Greg McKeown. One of the core ideas I took from the book are 3 phases: explore, eliminate, execute. I probably do too much exploring, I'm pretty good at executing, but I'm weak on elimination. So I've told Claude that, and encouraged it to challenge me to eliminate the non-essentials before I execute. And that's one of many. I've got more in there. Some of it is personal, you don't need to see, but you get the idea. Anything that helps Claude guide you, catch you in your habits that you don't want, understand your work, your obstacles, the patterns you're trying to break, that's all fair game. Back to preferences, click save, new chat, and Claude's already running all of this in the background. Preferences is how Claude thinks about you. Pause the video now, check your preferences, update them if needed. Feature 6, custom styles. Click the plus icon, then use style. Claude ships with a few: normal, learning, concise, explanatory, formal. Truth is, I tried the defaults ages ago, didn't find them useful, and never gave the good one a proper look. Create and edit styles, then create custom style. And look what Claude offers. Share a writing example or describe your style. Either way, Claude builds a style from it that you can switch to anytime. Simply upload a file or paste text. Claude reads the sample, picks up the voice, saves it. So here's a question: where would this come in handy for you? Do you regularly write reports, weekly blog posts, client pitches? Anything where the tone matters and where default Claude doesn't quite sound right. Feature 7. This one's easy to miss. You ask Claude to find your old chats. I'm looking for the deep research I ran for this video a little while back. Bit of digging, and hey presto, Claude's found it from last week. Now, the sidebar's fine for recent stuff, but for anything older, I just ask. Now, speaking of deep research, Feature 8, Research. Here's the one we just found. Ran for 15 minutes, and a whole list of Claude chat features came back. Most I'd already come across, but 2 I hadn't. Custom styles, which I'm planning to use, and conversation branching, which I'm now using. Want to run your own? Click on the plus icon, then research. Okay, one tip: be specific. What you want, the context, how it fits. If you're too broad, Claude will ask clarifying questions before it runs. Feature 9, voice mode. Next to the plus, tap the mic icon and you've got a proper voice conversation with Claude. I actually go one step further. A separate dictation app called Super Whisper works in every app, so voice becomes a universal habit, not just something that lives in one place. Either way, around 90% of how I talk to Claude is by voice. And yeah, it feels a bit embarrassing at first, but stick with it. Saves you loads of time once it's a habit. Feature 10, Incognito. Top right, the ghost icon. Think of it like private browsing in Chrome. Same idea, no history, no memory. You get the idea. Anything you don't want anyone else to see or Claude to remember later, you know where to go. Right, 10 features in 10 minutes. Let me know in the comments what surprised you or what I missed. Next video is Claude cowork. See you there.